Woo, 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 woo. Welcome to the Shine Your Light podcast. I am your host, LaChelle Hooks. Hey, y'all. All
Clap
right.
it down, Juan.
I know. I need some support. I need my support. All right, y'all. So we have some pod gods and kings up in the building today joining me. So, I'm the newcomer in this world of podcasting.
Welcome.
Yeah. So
It's not as scary as you think.
it was super scary for me, but I'm so excited to have y'all here with me today. So I get to introduce the kings today. I call them kings because they are kings in my eyes. So of course we have the infamous woo 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 pie god in the build. Why I gotta be infamous?
Why gotta be infamous?
That just means you are beyond fame, bruh.
Yes.
Infamous is not a bad thing, bruh.
Pie god in the
Step
building.
your vocab up.
Wine. Thanks.
Now he be chilling.
You be chilling, Wani Wine.
He lying.
Thanks for blessing us with your presence today, Wani Wine.
Anything, man. Anything to help out a friend.
Amen.
That's what friends are for.
Amen to that. I appreciate you and our friendship. Okay. Known this man since high school. A lot of y'all probably didn't know that.
Right, because a lot of people don't remember that I actually went to school.
You
Because I was never there.
wasn't? I don't know.
You probably was never
You were
there
one
either.
of the people that made an impression on me
Aw.
that I remembered. Because honestly, I didn't remember a lot of people from high school, low key. But I also had 2 jobs in high school. So
And I mean,
I
well,
was busy.
the class we had, it was early in the morning. So, like, we got to see each other fairly early. Like,
That's true.
I saw you.
What class was that? Because
We had a music class together.
Oh my goodness.
So my
okay.
first hour was Spanish, and then our second hour was a music class, and I had it with you.
Oh, okay.
And then after
That
that,
must have been my junior year. That must have been
Probably.
yeah.
everything's a blur after that because I probably wasn't going to class after that.
Such a
Okay, we're
horrible
gonna get
human
into
being.
that in a second. We're gonna get
Such
into
a
that in a
horrible human
second.
being.
Oh yeah, for sure. You out by lunchtime. By lunchtime, we was trying to hit the streets with the gang. We going to the mall and we out.
He just started potting already. I ain't even get to introduce Tone
I'm
yet,
sorry.
Lord Jesus.
That's what he does.
Y'all on my time today. No, I'm
Oh.
just kidding.
No, we on your time
I'm
today.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Don't talk to him, Michelle.
Yes, but I also, of course, want to introduce the other king to my left. We have one of my favorite producers
That's
and
what's up.
podcasters. We got Tone in the building, always setting the tone. Tony Tone.
Hey, I'm gonna put that in there.
Always said that.
Always setting the
Always setting
tone.
the tone. You do.
That's a
You
bar.
set the precedence. Amen. So, guys, y'all already know by now, y'all are here for a purpose, right?
This is true.
This is what we've been told.
Amen. So today you're going to find out what the purpose is pertaining to this particular show. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we titled this show, Is It Love? That is the first thing when I first appeared on your podcast, the first thing that we kind of discussed.
Oh, it'd be so hard when it's not your show to just start doing random shit.
Do
You
it.
can start singing.
Do it.
No, God.
Do it. Be yourself. You
I
free
think that's just
here.
our personality, period. We
Yeah,
just start
like you hear a
singing.
song, you start singing.
Just start singing.
No chance. No
They keep
change
calling
here.
me to come back to the streets.
It's my nephew. The streets are dead in my eyes. Okay.
Look, you ain't out here in the streets.
Oh,
No,
she far
sir.
from that street
I'm
life.
very far from the street life, sir.
I mean,
I have a whole 15-year-old son that I have to provide a good life for. So no,
think-
the streets are
I
not
think
for
it's just
me.
a phrase at this point.
Is it though?
Yeah, because I be
I
in the
think
streets,
it's-
but I ain't in the streets.
Okay. Well, have you ever been in love?
Have I ever been in love? Yeah, I've been in
Ooh,
love a
great
few times.
question.
Did you find it in the streets?
Did I find it in the streets?
Ooh, great
I mean, you
question.
said you'd be up in them and stuff.
You know what?
Did you
Maybe.
find love in the
Depends
streets?
on like, but see, when you in the streets, everybody's not living the street life just because you're in the streets.
Okay.
So I go outside and I hang out with my homies, but
Okay.
we not street niggas.
Well, that's not technically being in the streets.
No,
Probably
cool.
my entire family background was in the streets.
Yeah, yeah,
in the streets of Chicago.
That's why I say like things have different meaning. Like for like my cousin to be like, "Y'all I be in the streets." When he say that, oh, he dope dealer, he shoot niggas.
Okay.
That's his streets.
Okay.
When I say I'm in the streets, we was just outside. We were hanging out. We went to the movies. We probably went to go get something to eat. Like
Okay.
we was just outside.
Y'all was just kicking
Yeah,
it.
we
Y'all
just
was
kicking.
outside. That's a good thing. You're supposed to enjoy the fresh air and all that good stuff.
But
Adds
you can
value
definitely
to your
find love
life.
in the streets.
Okay. Did you?
Did I? I don't think I was looking for it in the streets.
But you found it.
I found it.
Okay.
Most of my serious girlfriends happen on accident.
That's how it's supposed to happen.
Like I don't be looking for love. It happens.
Was it friendship first?
The first one we started out as friends.
Yeah, let's get into Wani Wan. I think y'all know the surface level Wani Wan, but let's get into the depth of the man, the king.
The second girl wasn't even supposed to be
Talented.
she wasn't even supposed to be my girlfriend. Yeah, that wasn't even supposed to happen the way it happened.
But you made the decision to make her your girlfriend.
Can we be honest?
Please.
I feel like after you have sex with somebody raw, like y'all go together.
Oh.
And that's kind of what happened.
Well, that would be a soul tie.
Yeah.
And that will definitely make it harder for two people to separate. Don't you think, Tone? Being intimate with a person?
Intimacy does change the game.
Absolutely.
I will not lie.
So were y'all friends and y'all was intimate and then boom.
You know what? I didn't even think she liked me.
Oh, but she let you up in that
Yeah,
thing. So
because it was
liked
one
you.
of those things where it's like, so I feel like I'm a petty person at times. So like when I see what bothers you, or like when I see like I notice that something that you don't like about me, and every time I'm around you, I tend to do it all the time because I know it's gonna piss you off, and I get a kick out of that sometimes. Like, I get a kick out of getting under people's skin.
Terrible human being.
At least he's being honest.
I'm being honest.
But is that a trait that you're working on, or is that a trait that you're comfortable with, and you want your mate to accept you as?
I don't think
you
I
are?
do it as much
Okay.
now. But like with her specifically, like I saw is like every time I'm around you, like you always gotta, why are you an asshole? Okay, well if you think I'm an asshole, when I'm around you,
Okay.
I'm gonna be an asshole.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
So, thinking about your sisters, or you know what I'm saying, your close female friends, right?
Right.
You want them to find love and
This is very
find
true.
their mates and be happy and all that good stuff. Would you want them to be with a person that is constantly pulling at their triggers, or being that petty entity
I
in their
definitely
life?
wouldn't want you to be with somebody that always pulls at your triggers.
Right.
But I understand that it's life. Life happens. Like you're going to meet people that are like me. You are going to meet people that are in the images of your father. Like you are going to meet people that remind you of all the things that you grew up around.
Facts. Ask you another question, follow-up question.
How's that?
If these were truly women that Wani Wan wanted to be with, like if you truly saw this woman as somebody you could see your life with, do you think you would have still played that role?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
On some just playful stuff, or on some I'm gonna aggravate you?
I think some things are just I feel like at times like I'm a big kid.
You're a teddy
I'm
bear
a very big
with a
playful
hard
person. So
exterior.
it's kind of like the little boy on the playground that don't know how to tell you that he like you. So he do random shit like he pull your hair, or he always poking and picking at you.
Okay.
And then eventually it like when you like, why are you always bothering me? Then he be like, well, it's because I like you. And then you look at him and like, well, why you didn't just say that? And he's just like, well, I ain't really know how. This is how I got your attention.
Okay.
So sometimes it just be like that. You don't know how to really express how you feel about people. So you do little stupid stuff to get their attention.
Okay.
And when you finally get their attention, you're like, okay, I can relax on the petty shit. And I could be with you. I could be real with you.
Okay. And I can see that being a part of your end game, your marriage. I can
Definitely.
see that. Yeah. You know, and she will respond in a positive way to that because she knows where it's coming from. right or wrong.
Hopefully.
She'll look at it the right way. But most women ain't probably gonna necessarily look at it that way if they don't know you on that personal
it's
level.
2022. Don't waste my time.
Uh,
You gotta
okay, so let's get into that.
take me on $1 million date.
Let's get into that. How is the dating scene right now? Tone, you dating?
I am not
You
for
not
multiple
dating?
reasons, but from being the pod person that I am, and I have shows that talk about dating all the time. Dating is universally trash.
Is it universally trash for the people that you're choosing to date?
No. Here's the reason why I have to say this. I'm a knowledge based person, so I look for information when I talk to people. So I like to hear people's perspective because what I look for in a relationship may not be the same thing you look for in a relationship. So if you are in, let's say, the mall picking up people, your success rate might be different than mine because I'm not looking for the same thing you're looking for. Hanging out in Barnes and Noble may get every single girl he wants, whereas in it for you, it's not gonna work.
Wildest, because that's the wildest place for me to be, like a bookstore.
But because she says something like, trigger something, you find out that she's into comic books and it'd be like, hey.
Like, I was in here looking for a book for my mom, and then I found you. How amazing.
And it'd be like that sometimes. I'm just saying. But
that's still a wild place.
It is. Straight, don't knock it till you try it, my guy.
You speak from experience.
Sometimes you gotta find a chick over there by the Shakespeare section, my nigga.
That'll tell you a lot about a person. What they read.
You gotta make recommendations for children book for these women.
But since I started hanging out with Tone, that's not a far-fetched place for me to be.
Okay.
I elevate him. So
as
here's the thing.
Y'all elevate each other. Y'all elevate me as well.
I'm a firm believer in you have to change your environment if you want to change your outcome.
Oop, put that button.
You ain't got
I can't reach it.
I'm an air horn that.
Thank you.
Okay. And you do. You can't sit here and keep going to the local bar and get upset when you keep getting the same type of guys that are approaching you.
Amen.
Okay. If you want, and I hate using the word high value, man, because it's just so burnt out right now. but if you want a guy that's more than surface level, you got to look for him in non-surface level areas. But at the same time, you got to also be the same person who can feed into the same person who you're looking to feed into you. You can't expect a college degree, 6-figure having dude with an apartment downtown to want your third and key fast.
Okay, well, I feel like
that's nuts.
No disrespect to anybody that lives on Third and Keith.
There you go. I like how you said that.
You got it.
Respectfully, I'm not knocking y'all.
We are from the hood. I'm from the projects. But what I will say,
what I'm saying is the mentality is different.
But I feel, Tone, that the process for a man finding a mate and a woman finding a mate is very different because a woman should be pouring into herself and waiting to be found. She shouldn't be out here looking for no high class Negro. She should be pouring so much into herself that she shines and attracts those type of men. Whereas a man should be on the search.
Now, I respectfully disagree.
Get into it.
Here's the reason why I say that. That type of mentality is dead as fuck.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Here's the reason why I say that.
It's not amongst the majority, but it definitely needs to be.
Here's the reason why. This day and age, you women want to be independent, which is expected.
No, most women don't have a choice but to be independent. But go ahead.
Okay. All right, let's roll with that.
Roll with it.
Let's roll with that. Most women have no choice but to be independent.
Tom finna get in this bag.
I
seen him do this.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it, y'all.
When you're chosen to be this, right? At the end of the day, your mentality is to not be in this situation anymore, right? You don't want to take on the world by yourself.
No,
you want to find a mate or somebody that's going to take on the world by yourself with you, okay? But at the same time, if a man is supposed to be on the hunt for you, and going back to the previous statement, whereas in you have to change where you look at, you can't stay in the same space either. You have to move around too. Absolutely. You have to be in the
You have to
be in the room where it happens in order for it to happen. So that woman has to look for those spaces that are going to be better for her to begin with if you want this man to find you.
Exactly.
Now,
not for the purpose of the man finding you, but for the purpose of elevating and bettering yourself.
Which is why I say you can't stay in one place and only build on yourself.
Amen.
You got to build too.
If you're always playing in the playground, you always going
exactly
be amongst those little babies.
If you hang out in the kiddie pool, you'll never learn how to swim.
Amen. I don't know how to swim, y'all, but that's another story.
Get out the kiddie pool.
You're not alone.
I know. I really don't know how to swim.
You're not alone. That's why I don't even get in the pool at all.
All right, see,
you trying to drown me? Telling me get out the kiddie pool. That's the only place I could be, Lord.
Just stay in the shallow end for now. But when you do that, you do change your prospects. And when you change your prospects, you can usually mean that you have to change your mentality. And when you change your mentality, you can then find what you're looking for. So eventually, you're going to grow and become something better than what you are because of what you want. You can't want steak if you don't know how to cook steak. If all you make is pasta, you eventually have to learn how to properly cook this steak.
You absolutely shouldn't be a dime looking for a nickel, or
you shouldn't be a nickel expecting a quarter.
Right, exactly. I absolutely.
You can't be a 5-and-1 Idris Elba. I'm sorry,
but again,
it don't work that way.
But again, the focus should not be looking for a mate. I think that was my issue too.
Okay.
The focus should be becoming and getting to a place within yourself that you don't need a mate. Pouring into yourself so much that you're in that bookstore because you're looking and searching for knowledge. When you're in that position as your whole self, that's when either way, you're going to attract things. Either you're going to attract something that's not good for you, or you're going to attract something that is on an elevated level, as you were stating. So for me, it's all about positioning yourself for your own, self-elevation, and then attracting hopefully what's right for you.
Right.
So guys,
that was a very eloquent way to say that you are not shooting your shot.
Who, me?
I like that.
As a woman?
Yeah.
I would never shoot my shot.
See?
Why not?
No, I like that.
Right there.
But why not? What's so wrong?
What's so wrong with letting that man know that you're interested?
Okay, well, for one, you can. I think women they kind of let a man know that they're interested from a look. But for me,
you can't go based off a look.
For me personally, I don't like timid men.
How are we timid if we don't know that you're interested? A lot of times women make the mistake that you will sit here and try to do all these little subtle signs to make this guy notice you, when the fact that you were probably never initially on his radar, or he didn't think you were in his league. But the minute you let a man know that you should take me out sometimes. I
can see that. I can see that as far as like the whole lead thing, because I don't look at any man's surface level. And so honestly, for me, I really don't look at nothing surface level. I don't look at how a man looks. I don't look at how much money he got. I'm not saying I don't take those things into consideration, but my number one thing is how you treat me. So honestly, just meeting a man out and about would never work for me. It would always have to be a friendship established first.
If you are out and about, okay,
never,
you see
a
handsome gentleman,
never
out here grocery shopping for himself, and you can look at his cart and tell that he's single because there's a lot of shit in this cart that don't match.
Right, it's plenty of microwaves, ice cream,
like there's a lot of shit in this cart that don't match. So he gives you every sign that he's single, maybe even newly single, because he's definitely confused in his grocery store. But you see that he's a handsome young man. He checks your look box. You're not gonna give him a "Hey King, what's going on?"
It's a no for
you're
me.
Not gonna have no conversation.
There's no
with
shots
him.
Being.
Listen,
I
have a question.
I got a nice little wet shot. Okay, I shoot those 3-pointers, but no, it's enough for me.
You have a job, right?
Yes, I do.
Gainfully employed, right?
Yes, sir.
Did they call you, or did you have to fill out an application?
Honestly, I put my resume out there and I wasn't even ready to get the job. Listen, I wasn't even ready to start working because I was doing my own thing in real estate. But I just so happened to put my resume just out there on Monster, and yes, they called me.
She just ruined your whole thing.
Right.
I'm telling you the
I knew
truth.
you was going with it, but
When
ruined it all.
In essential, I'll just be like, look, man, if you want a job, you essentially have to fill out the application
Now
and
this is
somebody
what I
has to call you
did.
back.
This is what I did though. When I put my resume out there, okay, that's putting myself in position. Everything that I did that's on my resume to qualify me, put me in position.
So
Our focus needs to be getting in position. And
So-
that's with our everyday
So
steps that we take in our lives.
You
Mhm.
you fuck one whole shit up. So
Man.
I'm gonna go ahead and take it and see what I can do with it here. You initially put your resume out there. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. Mhm. Yes,
In the
King.
sense of what we're talking about, letting a guy know that you're interested, you're interested for dating. You're available to date now. Is the equivalence of putting your resume on Indeed. But if you sit here and say, well, I'm just starting dating, but I am free on certain days. You're telling him, hey, if you shoot your shot, you get an opportunity. A lot of women won't do that. A lot of women will stay in that space and allow that man to walk back and forth past their cubicle every single day and go kikiing on the phone with their girls, but never let that man know that he has a chance with them because she likes him. For the same reason you just said, the fear of rejection.
Okay, so I may have falsified something because I'm not gonna say I'm never shooting my shot because that was wrong. That was wrong. I had to think about this. But every relationship I have been in, just about every relationship I have been in, we were friends for a long time first, and then I made it known. So technically that wasn't true. Because then I did make it known that I was interested in him at that point.
And at that point in time, that man had the decision to make. Does he want to stay friends or does he want more?
Right.
But at the end of the day, until you gave him the clue that this is an option now, he would have never crossed that line.
Very true. And this is probably a point that I want to get into with the ladies as far as talking about positioning ourselves. Because in all of those situations, again, I was friends with the guys, we were just friends. And then I kind of shot my shot, right? But honestly, I shouldn't have shot my shot.
Why do you say that?
I think I had gotten to a point of being tired of being single, and I shot my shot as somebody that was safe.
That's a common thing for women.
Right. And we have to stop doing that because then we take on the wrong roles and the wrong people in our lives. So that's one of the points that I want to make in this love tour. Ladies, we can't date out of loneliness. We have to,
That's a universal thing, though.
It is.
Men and women both do it.
That's a human thing.
If you ask women
That's a
these
human
days,
thing,
they ain't never lonely.
But what comes from it, though? Nothing good ever comes from it. That's why we have to stop doing it. That's one of the revelations that I've learned from making mistakes in my own life. Okay. So, yeah, something that we definitely need to not do. Now, what I'm doing is just pouring into me. You. If you can't love me, Jesus, the way that I love me.
At what point in time do you accept the fact that you're full and you're tired? You don't need to pour into yourself anymore.
Never. What?
No, the reason why I asked this question is
poureth over.
Exactly. But now you
then I can pour into other people.
But now you're just wasting love at that point in time.
Because then
my cup runneth over.
Just spewing love all over the table, and they ain't got nothing to clean up with.
That's nasty. That's it.
I know those. But here's the reason why I asked that question the way I asked it.
Okay,
because eventually, and this happens quite often, I see it. You'll get to the point where now you're questioning, why do you even need a mate anymore? You've been single for so long, you've been self-sufficient for so long, you've been independent so long that your mind state starts to become, why do I need a mate now? And this is both men and women. So it's not just only talking about women, but both men and women, they'll get to a point that I've been doing this by myself for so long. So outside of sexual gratification, most of the time people be like, well, why are you here? I personally know women who have sat here in this studio while doing shows and said, "Nah, I'm never going to date again. I don't have a purpose for him. I don't need him because I've been on my own for so long. I've done everything that I should have done as a couple by myself."
Those are people that don't truly understand the purpose of a relationship and what a relationship is supposed to mean and how a relationship is supposed to edify you and your life because of the bad experiences that they've had. So
Okay.
now they're guarded. Now they're, honestly wounded, and they're looking at life from that lens of hurt. Okay, and now they're selling themselves kind of short because they're not
So
willing to be vulnerable to somebody who is going to pour into them properly. So for
So
me, I will never say I don't need a man, no matter how independent I am. However, I require a man to love me properly or not at all.
okay.
I'm
Let-
about to join the club.
What club
I
you
don't need
joining?
nobody.
Man,
I need to get into this,
I-
Wani, with you.
Hold on, we gonna get
I
no
want to
before
dissect
before
Wani.
we get there. We ask my one last question.
Ask plenty. We got an
What
hour of power.
what is a healthy relationship?
Glad you asked. So for me, a healthy relationship is something that's going to either push me to want to become my best self, or if I'm already in that space, is going to keep me there. It should never be something that takes me away from my purpose, from my joy. It should never, not saying that y'all aren't going to face battles, but it should never be something that makes you less than who God has ordained you to be. Anything other than that is not healthy and is probably not of God. Amen. Amen.
not of God.
Amen.
It probably ain't, bro.
It's a whole bunch of
I
stuff
mean,
that
look how
ain't,
many folks that out here think toxicity is cool.
which is what we need to shine the light on. Those situations. There's too many women out here that didn't fall in love, but they fell in comfort. Men do
Ooh,
it too,
y'all in comfort.
right?
She said it. I didn't.
Okay, and they stay in situations that are toxic, not good for them, and some of them have lost lives as a result. It's too much domestic violence going on these days right now. This is not,
That's because love
it wasn't love
is
from the first
is.
place.
I think love is not even love. I think life is what you interpret it to be.
Okay, let's get into that.
What you think is a healthy and successful life may not be what I think it is.
Why is that? Based on what you've seen?
Yeah, it's based on you and how you grew up.
Okay.
Like,
so what do you think?
I am the firm believer in them because like I got a bunch of sisters and I got a bunch of female friends.
Okay.
Like your father should be your first example of what your significant other should be. Like however your father was in the household, that's going to be your first example of what a dude is. So if you sat as a child and watched your dad punch your mom in the face, eventually you're gonna grow up and feel like, well, that's how he showed my mom he loved her. So when the first time your boyfriend punch you in the face, you're gonna feel like, oh, he loves me.
So you feel like that's why a lot of people are in those situations.
Right.
Okay, so one thing you just said now, you said a lot of people see things a certain way based on what they've seen. The responsibility of having this type of platform is to show people what they need to see and to show people something different. One of my main messages as a woman who did not know her father, a woman who only met her father twice in her life, and the second time was at his funeral when he died from an overdose, is that you do not have to be a product of your environment. You don't have to be those things. If you saw your mom getting beat up, that doesn't mean that has to be your life right now. But that is the issue. People aren't able to see past what's in front of them. That's the issue. And there's so much more in front of them. And that's why people are in a very whatever the word is,
Sedentary?
they're sedentary. They're
Oh, 'cause
stuck
I'm
in
like,
place,
sedentary?
Jesus.
Sanitary.
Sedentary.
Sanitize.
They stuck in place, Jesus. They are, they're they're just kind of they're stuck. They can't see beyond what they've seen already, and it shouldn't be like that. I am not in a place. I am a product, not of my not of my environment, but I am a product of hope, and I'm still pushing towards hope. And I think people have lost that hope, and that's why they sit in whatever situations they're in instead of moving along and knowing that they can have better, and y'all can have better. You don't have to have what you've had all those years. You can have some different, but it starts with you making a different decision.
Some people like it though.
Who like getting beat on?
I
yo?
don't-
Come
I
on,
will
let's be
say,
real.
okay.
Some
Let me-
people
They don't think they deserve better.
Let me
That's why they
that's what I'm saying.
doing
Let me
it.
clear
I'm
it up.
not
They
saying
don't
that you
think-
don't deserve better, but some people just they find happiness in comfort.
Toxicity.
Some people have never had a family, or they just like that idea of a family, and I was guilty of that. Like, I was playing house in past relationships. I never had that
Let's
family.
unpack that.
Listen,
play
I
house.
didn't. I wanted to be. I wanted to be that wife, but I was still learning how to be a woman. I didn't.
So you were given wifely benefits without
I've been
being a wife.
I've been the
What does
qualities
that
that a
mean?
wife should
Given
be
wifely
since I
duties
was
without being
a
a wife?
teenager.
You didn't go forth the effort of putting the title on it to put them in place financially to make sure that this person knows that you are their one and only, but yet you still want them to, and proverbially, like she said, play house.
And proverbially,
I
say it
also
again.
think a lot of people skip steps.
we
They-
do.
They skip steps because a lot of people know that there are steps.
Like
Like we joke
You-
about it
That's why
all
we
the
need
time.
to teach the steps.
like
Lord.
you
Purpose of the
can't
Torah.
look at me and tell me that you
Purpose.
are wifey material or you're wife material when you have not mastered how to be my friend. Then you haven't mastered how to be a girlfriend. Like you are skipping steps. Like you went from here to let's end it right now. Like no, that's not how it works.
Because they feel like they don't have to do those things. A lot of people think that those additional steps are more mundane. The get to know you phase, people don't want to do it no more because a lot of relationships end in the get to know you phase.
I ain't got another talking stage in me.
I think a
Exactly.
lot of Milwaukee relationships.
I'ma keep
have
it open.
No,
ended.
let's stop.
Boom.
Number one. Let's stop doing that.
Milwaukee.
No.
Okay.
Let's stop doing that. Let's stop localizing
That's true.
these problems because what you'll find out is
but no, it's not
it's
true.
universal.
I'm not gonna say that that's true because it's not true, because there's a vibe here, which I love the city. I love Milwaukee, but there's a vibe here that's different from the vibe in New Orleans. Like it's
The vibes are different, but the ain't shitness is universal. The playing with your time is universal.
okay.
Taking advantage
The
of
allowing people to play with your time. That's something that has to be
Okay.
allotted.
it's that too. Taking advantage of the new girl in town happens everywhere. You move to a new city because you want to get away from the old city, only to find out because you're new,
Which is not smart.
you're going with fresh eyes. So if you go out to a club that weekend to hang out with the girlfriends that you have there, of course you don't have to worry about the bullshit because you don't know none of these guys here. You don't have to go into a club and 12 of the 20 guys that are happen to be in the bar that day, you already know because you've been going to this same bar for 10 years. Of course, you're going
Okay.
to know all 12 of them. But if you're going into a new space and there's 20 guys here, you may know one because he's related to somebody that you're kicking it with.
Okay.
Okay.
I give you that.
So you now are giving them a chance you won't give these people because you already know something.
I ain't getting nobody no chance,
I'm
bro.
just saying that's the problem.
That's not the problem.
That's the problem.
No, it's
How
not.
you gonna sit here and say that you want to find somebody,
I didn't
but
say
you're not
that.
gonna give somebody a chance?
I didn't say I want to find somebody. I said for me personally, I believe, and I keep saying this, and I'm gonna stop playing with myself and stop. Listen. Oh my gosh,
I
guys.
can't help it. I'm childish. man.
Gosh, guys. I'm gonna stop playing myself in the regard of
Like, you should
going
never
away
stop playing
from
with
what
yourself.
I truly believe. And what I truly believe is that my husband, once we connect, is going to be a spiritual connection like no other. Like I truly believe that I'm going to know, and there's not going to be any doubt there. And my issue in the past has been there's been plenty doubts, but I start, kind of compromising and being like, well, this and that.
What
and
were you
no.
compromising on?
Myself.
So you were giving up a part of you to make
I was
that situation work.
I was pouring. I'm a pourer. I love to love everything around me, and if somebody, that's, I have to be careful about who's in my present.
Stop
Listen,
pouring. You got to
King.
start leaving that juice in the
Ain't
fridge
ain't nobody
sometimes.
got time, Jesus. I keep forgetting who I'm up here with,
Yeah,
Lord.
you gotta stop giving out juice.
Oh, you up here with the right people, fam, because we gonna talk to you.
Okay, but listen, Linda. No, so for me, I have to be mindful of who's around me, even regarding friends, because if you tell me a problem, I'm going to try to help you with that solution automatically. And if I'm doing that for people who don't pour into me equally, properly, don't be nasty with the, duh, then I get drained. And
I'm sorry.
it's gonna be a long show,
I
Lord.
can't help it.
Just keep, when it comes to one, just keep going. Just don't even.
Oh goodness
acknowledge
gracious! But I want to get into some stuff with Juan, because, like I said, y'all are the men, so y'all are teaching me. I appreciate everything that y'all are teaching me from the male perspective. But I need to know, because I feel like Wani, especially, is somebody's husband. But do you believe in love anymore? Do you think it's even possible, plausible, all that stuff?
I
What's
definitely
going on?
believe in love. I just feel like it takes so long to get to what you're looking for.
Are you looking at
it's
the right
like you gotta,
places?
it's like when they tell chicks, like, man, before you find your prince, you gotta kiss a bunch of frogs.
So you done kissed your frogs already, right?
Man, I'm kissing too many of these fucking tadpole hoes.
We gonna respect the past. We still have to respect the past.
I'm
Goodness
sorry,
gracious.
they're not tadpole
You know,
hoes.
they were
But
in.
I do feel like I don't, at this point, I don't got another like get to know you phase in me. I don't
Has there
got
been women who have kind of broken your trust? You know, that made it hard for probably new prospects.
Yeah, I can answer that one for him. Yes.
Okay.
like
I think to
I got some questions in
I
regards
feel
to
like
that, but
communication with me is key.
okay.
Like,
But are you a good communicator?
I think I'm very good at communicating.
he has his days.
Okay.
I mean, with friends and family, probably not the best. I have my days, but like,
You a Cancer?
I am a Cancer.
Okay.
But when we in like a relationship type shit, like just certain things, yes, communicate with me.
Okay.
Or not even like, just if I tell you I like you, and then you tell me that you like me, I assume that we are here.
Don't assume.
It's an even playing field.
Right.
And I only assume that is because you didn't tell me otherwise.
Right.
And then when you're not showing me otherwise, you're showing me that we're still here. Now, if I say I like you and then you like, you cool, I already know where we're going. Like, I'm here and you drop down a level because you don't really like me like that.
See, I told you this last time we talked, Wani. Okay. I feel like, and this isn't for everybody, this isn't for all men, but for you in particular, I feel like you're one of those people who are pour into the wrong places until they're drained.
It could be. I gotta like stop creating a safe space for people.
No, you have
for the wrong people.
You have
is what
to
you've been doing.
Start doing a little bit more
research and taking more time getting to know that person exactly.
Like, let's take this last situation.
I mean, bro, they're not researching.
No.
Like,
like, no,
do they have, like, can I Wikipedia these people?
You can friendship them.
You technically can, because let's take the last situation. Okay. I think because she approached you first, you immediately latched on it. You accepted it as good. You accepted it as possible.
I mean, God,
because she presented to you first. But because of that, you didn't do no homework on her anymore. You didn't check out her mannerisms, her behaviors. You just accepted the fact that she did what you've been missing. So therefore, her faults and everything, you looked past it. You didn't think twice about it. So when she questioned your loyalty the first time, okay, it hurt because of how you found out that she didn't respect you.
Yo, I wanted to punch her in the face.
But because she was doing things,
I would never hit a woman.
No, but because she was being in that space that you yearned for, you let her come back. You forgave her. You kept her at a distance, but you still allowed her to be in your presence. which then made you fall back into the same place you were with her
It puts
again.
your heart in jeopardy and puts
Okay.
you.
So when she did the second thing she did was more nefarious than the first one.
Yo.
Okay. Now at this point in time, when I'm telling you cuss her the fuck out, you took the high road again. I'm not.
language.
We're talking about a real life situation that still has emotions in it.
Okay.
that we all
okay.
hurt
Sometimes
from.
the words I understand.
It's the
They
words
add
that need to
emphasis.
they add emphasis to it. I want the listeners to understand that I'm not
Yes.
just talking to my brother as you know what, dude, you fell in love with the pussy. No, it was deeper than rap with this.
Y'all better teach these men out here because
Okay.
they are, and it's getting them in a very
But it
vulnerable
goes back to the point, like
position.
I was saying, is when a woman or a girl gives you something that you've been missing. Men and women both do this. We tend to completely forget all the other things that go
So when
around
she
it.
gives you the cookie, that's when
No,
y'all
it's
be
not even
forgetting
about the
stuff.
cookies.
I hadn't even had any cookies.
It's not about the
Oh,
cookies.
Lord.
The connection was
It was the
bigger than
connection
that.
there.
Oh, okay.
One is
Wow.
a certified.
I can
love-
sleep with anybody.
Right.
But-
That's the thing. When you get older, your
Don't.
mentality changes because when you're younger, if she presents the cookies, we tend to accept that as, oh, you want to be with me, and we will build a whole relationship around sex. So now when you got to start unpacking emotions, feelings, how do you handle stressful situations? How do you deal with financial issues? What if I lose my job? Are you still
And she's
here?
still gonna be there.
These types of issues go out the window along with her.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But when you get older and you realize, look, let's keep it a buck. I don't have to date you to get the cookies because I could turn around and give this girl over here $80 and get the same level of satisfaction.
First of all, know y'all value and don't just take any cookie either. But keep going. Know
Sometimes
y'all
we
value
only
as men.
sometimes we only use
Yo,
them to
that $80
masturbate.
be well worth it sometimes.
Ain't no-
I've never spent 80, but I'm just saying I know some dudes
Don't
that.
spend nothing.
Hey, look,
This is,
you
can
not
have
buying
a
that.
legitimate
You
human
buy- you paying
connection
them to
with
leave.
someone.
You paying them to leave.
In the
Jeez
prop.
Louise.
Okay, you know how you said men and women date differently. We look differently.
Yes.
At the end of the day,
and y'all have
financially,
different needs too. So
we
can
know.
understand.
Come to find out, when you get older, everybody's needs are identical. We just go about it differently. A
I
man,
disagree with that.
think
but
about
okay.
it. The reason why paying for it has become so acceptable, because sometimes paying for it is the equivalent of us having to wine and dine you to get to the same place. If we don't want no emotional connections to you, or we don't want to spend the time and effort to get to know you, we only want the cookies. There's a young lady over here who would take $80 to just give me what I want in this moment. Whereas, and if I want to date you, that date could be anywhere from 100 to 300, the total everything. So that's the restaurant, the food, the flowers, the wine and dining, the courtship, the whole 9 yards.
And then I didn't
Okay, so
even.
listen to this.
then only for you to turn around and say, you know what?
I'm not
I think
really-
we should only be friends.
Right.
Okay, I am so sorry for y'all struggles.
We're
I'm
not
so
saying that it's
sorry
not.
for y'all
We're
struggles.
not
But
supposed to
listen,
work for it.
listen
But
to this.
this is why these things are more acceptable now.
This is one thing I've realized about myself, and one of the qualities in a man that I desire. Revelation came pretty recent, but I desire and require a man who is very well disciplined within his flesh. I understand men
How
have
old are you?
fleshly. I'm 35 years old. sir.
Exactly. So there should be more prominent men who can meet that qualification.
Okay.
Majority of the men who will do this are usually under 28 with no problem. And then they keep the same mind state going into 30. And then they keep the same mind state going into 40.
Listen, I'm not one to judge. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. I've been at the bottom of the barrel, honey bunny. So
my.
I can never judge anything.
You was paying for it?
No, I've been homeless. I've gone through a lot. I've slept in a movie theater, Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Was it at
not
least
a
a good movie?
person. It was Barack Obama movie,
Yeah.
and I fell asleep to it at the
That sound like a
what was
movie that would
it?
put you to sleep anyway.
yeah at the iPic when the iPic was open. No, it was a
After
good
about the
movie,
second
but I
time
did
of
fall
watching it,
asleep.
you're not
But no,
interested.
listen. I'm not somebody to judge anybody ever. Okay, but one thing that I've just learned about me is as I become more disciplined in my own journey
Mhm.
and more disciplined with my flesh and putting my flesh into subjection, okay, um, that's desirable to me in a mate. So a man that would pay for it, um, is not something necessarily that I would be attractive to.
You shouldn't.
However, maybe he did in the past and he just wasn't in a good space at that time. But I just think, something
All right,
to
let's
take
get off
into
of this because I know we've
consideration.
completely taken you off the
Right.
I
'Cause
love it.
it's a rabbit hole, and we can really
we
keep
we
going.
can hang out here. Probably when we're done with your show, we probably going back on our own for a quick
Yeah,
pop up.
we
I
definitely
think
hang out.
that's
can-
definitely a show to talk about, because
What else you got on your docket?
you see all type of women on North Avenue. So
Oh no, don't buy,
something's
don't buy
happening.
from over there.
Definitely don't want it from
Don't
over
buy it at all.
But if you have to, please don't
buy
pick
it
North
at all.
Avenue.
Sullivan.
They can't even fix the streets over there. You think they fixed the heifers?
Ain't nobody got time, y'all. Ain't nobody
Them
got time.
heifers
But I
got-
do understand men have needs, and I get that. But I also understand, this is one thing I've realized as well. When you put that in, that sexual energy that you
Right.
have, when you don't engage in that activity, you actually put that energy in other places and
Mhm.
avenues in your life. That adds to your success and all that good stuff. So it's a lot. Y'all got a lot of energy, sexual energy. So yeah, but we can get off that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not having the most sex right now, so is that why I have like 100 sneakers in my closet? Is that where my energy is going? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out.
You're trying to buy your happiness,
Yeah.
The
bro.
less sex
There-
I have,
that's
the
retail
more like I
therapy.
have vices. Like, I might be buying more shoes. I might be smoking more weed. I don't know. Is that what's going on?
What
That's
brings
actually
you
what it is. What's going
joy?
on.
What brings you joy, Wadi? I want to know.
He just named two of them.
Weed, video games, tennis shoes, being podcast.
He's a big kid.
I am.
There's
Like, I
nothing
don't-
wrong with that. It's levels to everything. No, there's
there-
not. There's nothing wrong with that, because there's levels to everything. And the woman that you're going to be married to is going to have to be in alignment with the level that you're at. So you have to keep in mind what level of woman you want, because that's the level. The level you're at is the level of woman you're going to attract. Amen.
Ooh,
Amen.
that's a bar.
That's a bar. I feel like I think if I could find a weed smoking sneakerhead, I might be all right. I might be okay.
Wait a minute, but that's what you just found, though.
Nah, that she don't know how to talk to people, and that
You found a disrespectful.
So that
one.
means you need more than that. You see, the reason why I did that is you have to
Ooh,
add
point it out
layers
to
to
him,
what
kid.
you want.
Point it
You know
out
how,
to
like, when
him.
we used to talk about how chicks would have 10 things on their list,
yeah,
but they'll sit here and take a man that only got 6.
right.
But as long as 3 of those 6 are important, they tend to let those other 4 go. If you only focus on the surface level part of it, but you don't put the emotional parts into it, you'll tend to have these issues. So now you know you got to have one that knows how to communicate.
Yes.
If she smokes weed, that's a plus,
Right.
not a requirement.
Yeah, it's not a requirement.
Just
It's a
don't
plus.
get mad when I do.
Right, because this is what I do.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so let's pause right there, because I never even got into the very first thing that I wanted to get into.
Go
and
ahead.
You just got into it. Now you
'Cause I
hear
do
me?
this.
You do this, Tom. You
Why
set
are you
the
surprised?
tone.
He be
He
popping.
set the tone.
I let him be the
You gotta
guy
on your
because I'm
job.
actually the creator, and that's the
You
whole
on your
thing.
job. Okay, so
Ain't no
one
drum
thing
roll
I
out here.
always say, there's no drum roll.
It's a drum roll. He just don't see it.
You don't see it. Okay, them glasses lowered.
No, it's the
It's the fourth one over to the right.
it's the
now, sir.
wallpaper on those.
Okay. But you hear me say this all the time, very vaguely. You hear me say God is love, very general, like God
Right.
is love, God is
I seen it on
love,
a t-shirt.
God is love. Amen. One revelation that also has recently come into my life is that even God got requirements. Okay. So I literally will always just be like, Lord, listen.
No, we listening to you.
We listening.
It's another thing.
Oh Lord.
I'll tell you when we.
We'll tell you off air.
Okay. Okay.
It's nothing bad. It's just if we say it on air, it'll throw your whole show off.
Okay.
Right.
Say it after I'm done with this.
We will. That's
Okay.
why we said we'll tell you
We'll
off.
tell you off air.
Okay. So God is love. Okay. So me and my journey of just trying to better myself, bumping my head, making all type of mistakes, you know what I'm saying? Choosing the wrong things instead of choosing God. I would always, in the midst of all that, be like, Lord, I love you so much. God, I love you, Lord. I don't know what's going on. All this stuff is happening, Lord. I was hurt here, hurt there. But God, I love you so much. And there's so much more required from me than me just loving our Father. So much more.
Right.
So if even the Father has requirements from us, why should we have requirements from people? So Juan, like you, that's what you were just setting in place. Juan, what do you have requirements for these women? Are you seeing that they actually meet those requirements before you allow them to get to that soft spot to your heart? Because as a Cancer, your heart is sensitive, honey bunny.
Ooh, we don't
It
even
is
want to talk about how
sensitive.
sensitive I could be.
I already
That
know.
shit
You don't have to
crazy.
tell me. And I already know how an angry Cancer is too. I know how they
Yeah.
can get too.
That's why I don't like to be mad at people.
I'm very aware.
Like,
I know both sides, honey bunny.
I'm a Sagittarius.
and that,
You gonna
like
get
when
Do
what
he
you
you
was
know
gonna
your
get.
preaching,
requirements? But
like,
go ahead.
like when he was like, "You should cuss her out," I'm like, "No,
No, you told him that.
he did."
Most definitely.
Like,
I
and
stand on it.
and I understood
But
why.
Backhand.
knew why I
I
told him to do
I
that.
understand why. Like
Ain't no
everybody I told
backhand.
you story to, it's like, yeah, bro, you should just like cuss her out. Like I understand why you want me to, but
What?
like
See,
I know myself, and I don't like to be upset.
so what y'all don't understand is one, that's not helping anybody, of course. I'm sure both of y'all are aware of that. But you're giving her you're giving her your power. When you get to that level and you cussing people out, she wants that reaction from you. She already mad about something or she whatever, and she wants that, like, that energy from you. Don't give it to her. You know what you should do? You should ignore her. You should block her. You should not allow her in your presence
I
again.
haven't talked
I
to
was
her.
gonna do that
that-
anyway.
And
comma,
there,
but-
you don't have to cuss them out
no,
and
no.
then
But
take it there.
here's the
I haven't
logic
talked to
behind
her
it.
like.
What she do?
She played with my
I
guy's
mean,
heart.
if I could tell
She
the
cheated?
story, I could.
I want to hear the story.
Okay, so I met this young lady.
Okay, I'm glad you called her a young lady.
You thought I
Young
was gonna
lady.
say, yeah, I met this bitch.
Because he likes her.
Bad bitches. No. So I met this young lady. You know, she was cool and whatever. Like, you know, it was what it was. So, you know, we went on a few dates and
Yeah.
I was feeling you. So, like, I put it out there. I'm like, I like you like
You
that.
took her on dates.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, I got no problem with spending, you know, money. It's just money. You know? So we go on a couple of days. I let her know how I feel. She was like, I ain't really, you know, looking for a boyfriend type shit right now. So once you tell me that you're not looking for a boyfriend, I can only take what you say at face value.
That's an automatic red flag, by the way, because there's a whole bunch of hurt there that unless you want to be a doctor, you ain't got time for to be trying to heal. So
And just, you know, so I mean, but I feel like because even though I like you, we were still cool. Like we, you know, we building a friendship. So even if we never date, like I thought you were cool.
okay.
Like we could still, you know, be that.
Okay.
But it's like, so you tell me that you're not looking for a boyfriend and then you pop up with a boyfriend. So like, all right, what are you really telling me?
And you never got the cookie right.
Yeah, like I'm like, you know, because when I first met you, you told me you was what's the word?
Celibate.
Celibate.
You want me to be honest? Or you just have you already gotten to the realization with that?
I mean, she could have been lying. I'm not.
She
here.
most definitely was lying.
I
I
am.
don't.
not-
It's not
No,
necessarily
no.
lying.
Wait. Continue on to the story.
Go ahead.
Next
I,
week on Dragon Ball Z.
I am not here to play moral police
Amen.
about what you lie about. As long as I feel like I know I'm not lying to you, I'm good. So whatever you lying about, we'll figure that out when we figure it out. If I figure it out you was lying,
She was tugging on your heartstrings.
right?
honey
You know.
bunny.
So then as we get deeper into this stuff, like you want to do like little cute stuff that, like you just said, tugs on my heartstrings. So like when we go out, oh, Wani, I got this same pair of shoes. You want to wear matching shoes? So I'm like, well, shit, fuck it, let's do it. So we do shit like that, and it's just like
Was
you,
she a Gemini,
Libra.
Libra. Oh, they're fun. They're
No,
fun.
no, they're not. They're dangerous people, and they're man. But it's like you can't
They play both sides of it.
you can't show me all the things that like make me think that you like me when you really don't like me, and
She didn't see a long-term relationship with you
and
for
that's
whatever reason.
fine if that's how you feel. But we're we're in our 30s, fam. It's certain things that I feel like we should be able to talk about.
Right.
And I don't know if I feel like because of how my cousin is with all of us when we kick it, like if I know there's one person on this planet who's gonna be honest with me, it's gonna be her. And I feel like I expect that from everybody.
Okay.
Like, just keep that shit real raw and
Did you bring
authentic.
her around any of the females in your family? You should start doing that. Because
She-
no,
Here's the
I
reason
don't know.
why. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the reason why.
Because usually they're the lie
The
detectors.
one before this one, he did that, and it didn't go well.
Yeah,
It didn't go well.
it didn't go well.
It didn't go well because
But that was her fault that it didn't go well.
it was definitely her fault. But I felt like, and this is just take it as a grain of salt, Juan. I felt like if Juan kept her away from the family and the crew for a while, for them to learn and build and figure out like what they both like, don't like, and find a happy medium, it may have had a chance to work. So if Juan had an opportunity to say, well, my family is like this, and here are the things that is the must when you're around my family, it could have worked.
Okay.
But because there was feelings, personalities, disrespects, things that were happening on top of them growing their relationship,
Childishness.
it threw it out the window.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
What's up?
Do you feel like you've been presented with the same situation, same woman almost with different faces over and over?
Man.
And that's what it feels
I'm
like.
starting to feel-
Let me tell you why. Because you're going to repeat the same lessons over and over until you learn from Honey Bunny.
I definitely
You
feel like I
truly
got a
are.
type.
We all are. It's not even about the type necessarily, about the physicality of it all.
No, but for real though, they all starting to look alike.
I believe it.
They all.
I believe it. But
It's the same type.
when
of woman.
are you recognizing
No,
the
I won't learn.
negative
I'm a glutton for punishment.
aspects? Don't. Because you deserve more, you deserve better. And I don't want my friend walking around feeling depleted or empty because he's pouring his efforts and energy into women that don't deserve it.
I definitely just told my homegirl, I'm like, I think I'm finna hit that point where it's like, I'm starting to understand why dudes be like, yo, I hate women.
Those are little boys that don't
Nah,
know better
like
because
some
y'all are
dudes-
supposed to protect women, but that's a whole nother story.
The problem
you have
is,
to learn your lesson in order for you to get on to the
I
next
can't
level.
protect you if you don't want to be protected.
Those shouldn't be women that you should be protecting. I ain't
But
saying
those
protect
are
everybody.
those are the women you meet. Like when I
Those are the
meet-
women you meet because you at the playground.
ooh,
It's time to boss up. We're gonna go to Target. Now just gonna go to Target.
Okay, I just
Then eventually we're
I
gonna get
used
to
to-
Macy's.
I used to work at Walmart. I don't want nothing. I don't want no department store people. I just want, I'm
no,
okay.
just a metaphor, Lord.
I just want everybody
Learn a
who's listening
lesson.
to know that out of all the women that Juan has ever dated, I haven't introduced him to any of them but one, and I told him to just do what he do and leave it alone. So I've been putting Juan in places, like I told you earlier. You can't
So
get good women if you looking for them in the same places where you keep finding the trash at.
Amen.
So he goes and he gets these women on his own.
Well,
So
there's
all
some
I can do is support
diamonds
him.
in rough places, Lord.
I can't. So I don't want anybody to think that I'm just
Look.
letting him pick these bad choices for him.
Everybody that I talk to is not bad.
The main one, I would take this. This is all I mean. The main one, the one who I know is perfect for my boy, and he knows is perfect for her. Is distance is the problem right now. I introduced them.
Okay,
And they are great friends.
Distance might be what you need because honestly, where you are right now, I feel like all of your energy should be poured back into you.
Energy.
All of your efforts, all
Energy.
of that should be poured back into Wani. That should be your primary focus, getting ready for Bay. So maybe that long
Man,
distance is good for you
These chicks gonna scar me before I even get the bag.
because you
I
allow
don't
them
know,
to.
bro. They might be
Because
there
you
already.
allow them to. And guess what? It's gonna do damage every time because you're allowing your flesh to think for you instead of. And I know
wasn't even
in
trying
your
to do this,
I know
girl.
in your spirit, if you were thinking properly, that there was something. If you were thinking clearly, you're always thinking properly, but clearly. Okay, there was something, little inkling, little something that told you no. It was something you ain't listened to.
I
it.
wasn't even trying to do her.
I'm not.
Do me
I
bang,
think
bang.
you're looking for something beyond the flesh. I do that.
Right,
I do
like
believe
she
that.
was like, I'm celibate. I was like, cool, we can
You was
still rock.
with that
Because
yeah.
now I know that if we do get to a place where we are together,
But
this
it wasn't
relationship was built on something sturdy. We had a nice foundation because I wasn't just trying to do you.
But
But
there's
I think that's where Juan's main issue is he wants stability. He wants
does.
communication.
I know.
He
his
wants
wife.
someone to smoke weed with him. But when they
But you don't have to.
but when they give him the basic superficial stuff and they meet him at the I play video games, I smoke weed, I like shoes level, one will clap his hands and like, yes, I found the one.
Because most good women, they go a little more.
But now I feel like communication really be on point until it's time for. It's like when you were a kid. And it's like you could talk to your parent about everything under the sun until you knock the lamp over. And she come in the room like, hey, who broke my lamp? And you be like, nah, it wasn't me. I don't know how I felt, Mom. Everything go out the window. Y'all got this great relationship. You talk to your mom about everything. Oh, Mom, I did this, I did that. But you won't tell her that you broke the lamp. Like, you're not going to get a whooping. You're not going to get in trouble. She just wants to know, hey, who broke my lamp? Stop running in my house.
You don't want to disappoint her.
And you don't want to, right? And I
her.
just feel like you can talk to me about everything up until it's time for you to talk to me about something that you really need to talk to me about.
But that's not a you thing. That's a them thing.
Right. So I can't fix what I didn't break. I can't fix your problem.
Exactly. So that's what I said initially. Do you want to be the doctor to these patients consistently? Because you're attracting patients.
I don't want to be a doctor. Although I play one on TV.
But let me ask you something. Was there anything about that situation? Anything at all? Any little feelings that kind of was in your heart? Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Anything?
Like off top?
Yeah.
Nah.
Nothing.
Nothing said it was bad, but it's just like as you get into things, it's like when you start to see things, you're like, okay, I know what that looked like.
Okay.
Juan has to learn how to ask the right questions.
Okay, teach him then. Let's teach him what are the.
I'm gonna just start asking like, are you sane? Are you stable? Can I see your mental health record?
What I mean by that is you got to start having conversations that make them get outside their norm. This day and age, dating, and me and Juan has said this a lot of time. Dating is like applying for a job. At the end of the day, you're trying to get the job of being that person's significant other. At the end of the day, that's really what it is. But we all have these default questions.
To interview my boo, but go ahead.
He couldn't make the cut. That's not my fault.
You were supposed to interview for a boo, but go ahead.
I tried, and you didn't like.
You never did it.
Okay. You didn't like my choices, so I'm like, you know what? This is not the job.
But keep going.
You're overqualified for this job.
You was gonna let Tom set you up on a date?
Yeah, blind date.
I'm good.
We should do that.
I interrupted you. My apologies.
Me and you. Let's do that.
Flow.
Y'all two date or
no,
y'all?
Me and her will go on blind dates together.
Oh, now you want to go on?
Well, no. See, you know why I stopped setting people up on blind dates, which I have plenty of people who are interested, and I charge a $50 registration fee.
You gonna charge us a fee to set one up?
No, but I wouldn't do it for one. But you know why I stopped setting people up on blind dates.
But we're not. We'll talk about that.
You
later.
might find me a good Christian.
No, we can talk. I can tell y'all now.
Okay. Well, no. We'll get back to that because I was in the middle of my thought.
Go ahead.
I'm old, so I forget where I was going. See, I almost forgot. I damn near forgot where I was going. What was the last thing I said?
Darn it.
You was talking about jobs.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, kind sir. This is why you are my head of HR.
Right. Gotcha.
It's like a job. So people go and they apply to be someone's boo. But the problem is, just like on job application, everybody only asks default questions that are always expected to ask. We need to stop asking default questions and start asking questions that are specific to what I need. Every relationship is not going to be the same because what I need from, let's say, me and you dating, at that point in my life, I may need something completely different that I need from my girl's mom, that I may need from the chick I dated in high school, that I may need from the chick that worked at the checking spot.
Sure.
I have different things. So therefore, my questions of are you compatible for me must change for each person. We don't do that.
You know what we also have to do? We have to allow people to answer those questions with their actions, not just with their words. That requires time, which also requires patience, which a lot of us don't have. And it's the missing ingredient for the happiness that we see with the partner.
But we still need those answers to create that measuring point. Okay. If I don't ask you the question of how you are with time management, When you start coming late, am I supposed to get upset? Or should I already know? Okay, this heifer is
I'm
never on
working
time,
on
so let me
it.
start telling her
Okay,
be
so
here earlier so she
working
could be
on
on
it.
time.
I have a question.
I'm talking about you in general. That wasn't the
I mean,
direction I
it
had to see.
was. That's
Oh,
something I still
I,
struggle with,
I
Lord.
have a question.
Which is something you do. So if you're dating
I'm
a guy
aware.
who says, okay, we gonna go out this Friday, be ready at 7 o'clock. If I don't know that you have issues with time, that 7 o'clock date may actually really be an 8 o'clock date. I'm just telling you 7 so we can be there early like we supposed to be.
My friend actually did do that for me. My not dating friend, but my actual friend did that.
Because you
for
got to
me.
understand.
What's your
You
question?
suck at
gotta
time?
know who. It's not that I suck at time. I just value my time very much, and a
Then why
lot
you
of
don't value
it.
other people's time?
And
Stop-
see,
stop being lazy.
I definitely
Listen, one. Listen, don't stop.
being
Stop.
on time.
It's not
Being
taken
on
away
time.
from
You're
the tour.
supposed to be on time, and I definitely value your guys' time along with my jobs and everybody else's. But that is one of my areas that I'm working on. I'm not perfect. I'm progress. Okay.
But the reason why I bring time management up because that's a question that we don't ask. We just assume,
Right.
first of all, as Black people, everybody's going to be late.
I
So
don't
when you
like
do,
that.
but when you deal with somebody who's about on time, if you're not early, you late kind of a mentality. Now you're going to have random
that's stigma.
conflicts and arguments because he or she is going to be ready at 7:45 for this 8 o'clock date. Meanwhile, I might still be in there moving and grooving in the bathroom because my favorite playlist is on.
Yeah. I'm usually doing stuff.
And
I'm
now-
usually doing mom stuff though.
Whatever the reason for that is, it's the fact that that's something that could be a deal breaker that we never
For
put into
sure.
place. So these are these customizable questions and not these
Right.
default questions. It's cool that I learned that your favorite color is orange. So when I'm out here getting materialistic things, I might look for something orange instead of the basic white that they may have. That's cool because I listen to you. But at the end of the day, you can't take flowers because you're allergic to him. Completely throws that whole effort out the window to begin with.
That's a really good example as far as the promptness though, because honestly, I could see, and you can ask your question. Honestly, I could see my partner being very prompt and then influencing me to get better with my promptness.
It's true.
Now, when y'all have those two differences, and instead of one person getting better at it, and y'all are now arguing about it or becoming combative about it, then that's how you know that that's not going to work. Like that person
But-
should be influencing you to get better.
but
It shouldn't
that's
be getting
all
on
of-
your nerves.
But at the same time, delivery and acceptance plays a factor in that.
Mhm.
If you know that I care about being on time and I know that you have a
Exactly.
tendency of being a little bit late, it's a conversation we need to have. I can't get, if we go out 5 times that week,
But
I
that's-
can't get mad that every time for these 5 times you kept being late. I have to eventually at 1, okay, she's late. 2, hey, hon, let's work towards being on time next time.
Right.
3, okay, let's start setting a schedule for you to be
And
here.
that's when the
4, make
actions-
schedules to do it. Or 5, let's just go ahead and let's compromise here. Can
Exactly.
you attempt to be ready at this time at least? But in the back of my mind, I'm really going to schedule a little bit later so we can have a compromise.
That's knowing your person, but also,
People don't do that. The minute
Yeah.
that fight happens, it annoys me on date 1. I say
Right.
something about it on day 2. I yell at you on day 3. I say fuck you on day 4. I break up with you by day 5.
right.
That's how dating goes right now.
Right. That's true.
That's
true.
terrible.
What's your question? It is terrible.
How many times do you have to do something before it's deemed as a red flag?
Ooh.
Like for me personally,
Just in general, like if you were dating a guy or y'all just kind of in the get to know you phase, but y'all go
Mhm.
on dates, like how many times does he have to do a specific thing before you be like, all right, bro, this might be an issue?
I mean, honestly, I feel like the
I give
first
you-
shot
I give
should
you
be
an
enough
example.
times.
No.
But yeah, give
I
me
give
an
you an
example.
Young man invites you out on a date. Okay.
Hey, young man.
He picks the restaurant the whole 9 yards, right? You sit down, the waiter comes up to you. Hey, what you guys like to eat? Like I go ahead and like to order the appetizers. I want this one, that. Oh, and then she's gonna have a salad and this over here instead.
Oh, he don't give me no options. I don't get no choice.
He orders.
Oh, he's very controlling. I don't like that. But some women will look at it as taking charge. So it's all about what you want. I'm a very free spirit.
Now.
So I'm gonna have to have that option. So that the first time would be enough times.
Now, what if what he ordered is something you liked? So he ordered it solely because previous conversations indicated, well, I'm trying to be on a diet. I'm looking at watching my weight and whatnot.
I am eating vegan.
And you're trying to go vegan.
Vegan
So
diet.
because
I'm not vegan, I'm on a vegan diet.
So he may
I don't
know
like titles.
if he did his research, he looked at the menu ahead of schedule already. So he knows what all the vegan options are. And after talking to people, he knows these are the good foods and these are the bad ones.
And he like, I really just wanted you to try this.
Exactly.
I would just be like, I appreciate that, King. Thank you so
There's
much.
no date too.
But I would really prefer, you to give me that option first and tell me what you recommend instead of deciding for me. And I would see how he kind of responds to that. Because I like a man to take charge, but I like a man to understand that I'm a whole entity by myself. You gotta allow me to be me, which is very important to
what
me.
if he ordered it because he
the
wanted
option
you to
to
try
choose.
something that was good? So that's why he ordered it. He took you to his favorite restaurant and he knows that this vegan burger they got on here is fire.
How does this
So what-
become a red flag?
But what?
Control it.
Yeah, control it. That's the first thing that came
Control
to
it.
mind. But let me put you in that same situation, and you're that man that did that, and you ordered for her and everything, and she was like, "Oh, excuse me, can I also have this and this and this?" Because that's what she really wanted. Would you take that as her undermining you, or would you?
I wouldn't take it as undermining because I'm an open-minded person. I would look
Okay.
at what she ordered and wonder, is her guts going to be fucked up later on this night? Because when you mix certain food together, it's the Taco Bell effect.
Okay,
That would be my
but
first
that
choice.
would be his indicator also to be like, maybe I should have asked her.
So how many
Because she
times
really
does he
wants
have to
something
do
else.
that before you be like, all right, I can see how this gonna be a problem.
Okay, so if I'm speaking to you from a level of like teaching, then I'm gonna say the first time should be the one time. If I'm speaking to you from a level of what I've actually done in my personal life, I've given people several chances, and it wasn't until that red flag probably negatively affected me, like actually affected me in a sense, that I began to separate myself.
Why should we only give it one chance? Because if he
Why
did
we
it that
giving it
first
more?
time and you,
Why are we giving it more? Because I'm literally at a place in my life right now.
here's
You
the reason.
ain't,
I
you
say
ain't got
two.
more than one.
I say
bruh.
two, and here's the reason why. You have to let a person know that they made a mistake and give them the ability to learn from it.
Okay, let me get you into a real example, a
Okay.
very real example with the
My
last
situation
person I
is a
dated.
real example.
Punch him.
I mean, it is.
I feel like
Okay, this is the example. So let me. This is my real life. I like to tell my business.
Yeah, we got
bit.
that. You know, we
Y'all
teach
my
people you got to
brothers.
put
Y'all be
yourself in
helping
your pod.
me. Mm-hmm.
This is a safe space, one. Remember?
Yeah.
oh,
so
that's why I said because I
so
feel like
a
it's twice.
gentleman.
it won't be a third. I can't give you like.
But
Twice,
that's why
okay. Twice.
let's stop before you tell your story. This is why the second time I told you cuss her the fuck out. Because no, hear me out. You gave her a chance the first time. I don't even think she apologized because the way it went down, that was bogus on so many levels. But because you had such a vibe and connection with her, you gave her a second chance. You gave her the opportunity to learn from her mistake.
Facts.
Look at
Okay.
why deep in thought. I love it.
All right. You
Because
gave
I
her
did.
I love
gave
it.
her an opportunity to learn from her mistake. And not only did she do the same mistake twice, she took it to a level that publicly you can't even accept her back.
Facts.
Publicly.
Okay.
I cannot.
Publicly, you can't accept her back. Therefore, you have the right to cuss her the fuck out.
No, you don't. Just
Okay.
leave her alone. Walk away. Don't give her that.
No,
energy.
and
You're giving her your power.
No, and that's where I think a lot of people are making the mistake. You're not giving them the power
You're
because
putting
at
them
the
in
end
their
of,
place.
because at the end of the
they know their
day,
place. That's
at
why
the
they do
end
what they
of the day, okay, you're still gonna block her. You're
Yes.
still never gonna talk to her again. You're still gonna forget you ever knew her.
Did you feel better after cussing her out?
He didn't do
I
it.
didn't.
He didn't do it.
Oh, I love
And that's why he still
you.
feels the way he feels because she will never know how he feels because of the decisions that she made because he hasn't given her the he
See,
hasn't
this is-
told her how he felt.
Listen real quick. That takes strength. Listen, Linda. That takes so much more strength. What you did to hold that in, to be quiet, speak to your friends about it though, but not to put that energy out on her. That takes strength. And guess what? That's also the process of letting go, okay, and letting God, or some people say letting the universe or letting karma, whatever she dished out is gonna come back to her. It's not your assignment to tap her.
I didn't cuss her out.
Good.
but we did have a conversation.
Of
Okay,
course, y'all had a
that's good.
conversation.
And it took a week and a half to have it though, because it's like if I talk to you while because I'm a Cancer, so like
I know you gotta calm down.
When
You got a song
when
for
I'm going
every
through something, like
emotion.
my emotions be all over the place.
Music just playing. So
Little
everyone-
things set me off, and I just like, "Arr." I'm like, if I talk to you while I'm in a bad headspace, I'm definitely gonna use a bunch of foul words, letters. I'm gonna say things that I probably
Are
shouldn't
you a
say.
drinker?
No,
That's good. Because a cancer,
I get
an
high a lot.
emotional cancer, but an
Yeah.
emotional cancer that's a drinker is not a good combo. But go ahead.
so I just like at first I was just gonna write like this. I started like I opened my notes on my phone, like because I was like I gotta get it out, but like I don't
Yeah.
know,
Bro,
like
you
I
over
don't
there
know
journaling?
what to say to you. I don't even know because we weren't really dating. If I even should be mad at you, like I don't really know how to feel, but I know I feel some kind of way because I
Exactly.
feel like I let you in my space and you played me twice. Like you fucked me around twice.
Whoop her ass.
So like I opened my notes and I wrote this long note, but like I never sent it. And then yesterday while I was at work, I'm like, well, it's slow. I got some time. I pulled out my phone. I'm like, even if you don't reply to this, I feel like for me to feel better, I need to let you know how I feel.
Mhm.
Like I need to let you know, like
You
this
gotta
is
get it out. Yeah,
you've
it's
done this
therapeutic.
twice, bro. Like, and you can understand why I really want to slap you across your face.
Stop using that, please.
No. She needs to be told that you could have got these hands.
Like
We'll
No.
tell you off air because there's a
I
lot
just-
to it.
I know, but
Like,
we don't have.
sometimes I
Sometimes you just gotta
really-
see people for who
and
and
like
what they are.
when stuff
and
like this
leave it at
happen to
that.
me, I'll just be like, y'all really lucky that I'm really
Not
deep
that
down
guy.
a nice guy.
Yeah, you are.
Because no matter
Truly.
how much of an asshole I am or what people think just because I talk to some people, y'all lucky I'm really a nice guy. Because I know a lot of dudes who
Yeah.
went through this and like I gotta beat you up.
I know some of them too.
And it was funny because then like after that whole situation, like I go through like my Facebook memories,
Mhm.
and I was like, that stat didn't age well because it was like the next woman play me, you gotta
Oh,
bring
Lord
me your
Jesus.
brother, you gotta bring me your brother, you gotta bring me your daddy, uncle, the guy you call brother. Somebody gotta fight me.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. So, if you're presented with the same situation in the future, and
I'ma
the
whoop
fir-
his
la-
ass.
la- la- la-
I'ma
la-
whoop his
la-
ass for letting
listen,
himself get into that.
Linda.
Okay.
Gotta show my muscles on this show with y'all.
I yell at people sometimes. See, told you.
No, but if you just said how many times does it take? You gave her 2 times. So if you're presented with the same or similar situation,
With
a
that,
new woman,
with that situation,
same woman,
you
different
get,
face.
You get one time.
Exactly.
Because I
So
need
you had to
communication.
learn that lesson.
'Cause I
Our
need-
lessons are purpose.
I need
You had to
communication.
learn that lesson. And not only that, but all those situations that you've been through is going to allow you and make you appreciate the right woman properly because she's going to show you something
I'm gonna go
different.
get a
But you
boyfriend.
have to be in a different position. You have to be in a different position to attract
I
that
saw
type
this
of woman.
TikTok and
Wait,
it makes
you
so
just
much.
said
It
what?
makes so much sense.
What was the TikTok, Monty?
The
Tell
TikTok,
us.
the dude was like, "I am looking for a husband." He was like, "I just need a guy to marry me," and then he started listing all these things on why he wanted a husband. He was like, "We could remodel." He's like, "We'll have 2 incomes. You can sleep with whoever you want."
I mean, a lot of people are actually doing
I
that
just
right
need
now.
the second income, bro. We can remodel the house. We can have whatever
We need
we
your,
want.
Yo,
I
man
was
friend.
like, "Hey."
Yo, man
Yo,
friend. Don't
low
take that
key.
the wrong way of what my
Yeah.
brother said, by the way.
I was like, he really just want like a best friend.
Yeah, that's
just
it.
to split the bills with and
That's
do
it, that's
and live
all.
life. I was like, you know what? That's cool.
Yeah, and y'all can have that. It's called broships for sure.
Yeah.
But the number one thing is that if you're presented in the same situation, for one, you'd be a fool to repeat it. As soon as you see that red flag again, you're already gonna be aware not to allow them to your heart.
Man.
So that situation had purpose. And you never know that you might be presented with like a deeper situation that would have hurt you even the more. But because you experienced this, now you know better. So now you'll be more guarded with your heart for the next situation.
Whoop her ass.
No, we listen on the Shine Your Light podcast. We do not condone the whooping of aces in any regard. Okay. We do not condone. We gotta make it known. We gotta make it known.
I just like the next situation. I don't want to be too guarded to where like I'm standoffish and I don't even let you like me because I feel like you're gonna do something bad.
Look,
Bro, this
feel
ain't
like,
for everybody, but you need to be guarded.
But here's the thing, though, and I know how we're speaking from the perspective of protecting ourselves. The reason why I am so adamant about allowing a person at least a second chance, because I would want that.
And
if
I
I'm
get
dating
that. We're
somebody,
supposed to allow grace, but at what point is it supposed to be
but
at
here's
our
the thing.
own?
Here's the thing. Dating is different for everybody. So if I've been in a situation for long terms and I'm back out here in the dating world and I'm learning that dating looks differently now and this individual had these issues and because of this, they're not into that, how am I supposed to learn you? How am I supposed to learn that you handle things a little bit differently than I do when the first time I did something, you immediately called it quits?
Well, it depends on what it is. It
But here's
depends
the thing.
on how
At the end of the day,
harsh it
here's the thing.
was.
At the end of the day, no matter what she did, the original problem was communication. Everybody communicates differently, but until I learn that you don't accept this form of communication over that form of communication, how am I supposed to correct it? If you immediately cut me off, I'm a person who texts a lot because I usually have things that's going on. Like right now, we're doing a podcast. So if you think about it, on a Sunday, I can pod from noon to midnight. Okay? So I can't just pick up the phone. Hey, girl, what you doing? What you guys going on? How was it? I can't have that conversation with you because
you're multitasking. Got stuff going on.
Okay? So texting is my form of communication. But then there'll be a girl who I may be interested in and we're getting to know each other. And her whole thing is, oh, I can't talk to you because you text all day. You don't really call me. And when you call me, it's later in the afternoon. And I don't have time because now I got to get ready for bed. So this is going to be a problem. But you didn't allow me to adjust my life to be able to do that.
Okay, so
you didn't give
now
me the
you
opportunity
sound like the
to
person
change
I was
my
just
communication.
dating. So now you sound like now I'm gonna put myself in this situation because now you sound exactly like the person I was just dating. So several red flags. This man has blatantly flirted with other people right in front of me.
That's different. He's rude, motherfucker.
Okay. Which he wouldn't call it that. He wouldn't say that he was flirting. He would say he was just being himself. But I'm a very wise individual. The second thing
Maybe
was,
that was
listen,
himself.
Linda. The
Being a
second
whore?
thing was,
Sounds like
I'm a woman that like flowers. There's a whole rose tattooed on me. I love flowers.
Flowers.
He should have bought me flowers. And so we dated for 6 months and he never bought me flowers. He bought me flowers one time and that wasn't, it was Mother's Day and it was the day after Mother's Day. And it was the day after Mother's Day. It wasn't even on Mother's Day. Exactly.
I got you on the Mama Day sale.
Exactly. So
50% off.
now
That
that I
showed
have,
you he's wise with his money.
listen, now that I have distanced myself, I've gotten more flowers in a 2-week period than within that entire 6 months. Now that I have said, you know what, I've seen everything that I needed to see within this 6-month time. Okay. And it's not what it's not meeting my requirements for a lifetime. So I'm just going to pull myself on up out of here so I can make sure I'm getting back in alignment with what God has for me. Because clearly this can't be it. I shouldn't have to ask my husband for flowers. Okay. But, maybe I had to go through that to get that realization so that when I'm in the next situation, if I see those red flags again.
But here's the thing, though.
Wait, not buying you flowers is a red flag?
It's very important.
No. Here's the thing. That's not the red
Just
flag.
Romantic things. That's teddy bears.
That's what I was going to say.
So flowers, because he wasn't romantic is a red flag?
That's what I was going to say. It's not the flowers that's the red flag. It's the fact that you told him you like flowers, exactly. And that was not a top priority to him. Even though he did other stuff to you, he did other stuff for you, or was he just? He did do other stuff to you too. You're not together 6 months and he ain't doing stuff to you.
Now
we
got some of that righteous cookie.
No, guys,
How would a
let's get
righteous
into
cookie
it.
taste, Doug?
Let's get into it.
I don't know.
I feel like it's bland.
I cannot.
It's blessed with holy oil,
I
and that
cannot.
It's anointed.
First of all, I'm from Chicago. We got nothing but flavor, okay, but in the best kind of way.
Jerk
My
48?
heart
Is it
has
fried
flavor.
hard like Harold's?
I don't know what
Or
y'all
is it
talking
jerk
about right
48?
now. Okay, so let's get into your stat. Okay, you have made a stat, right?
Oh my god!
And a lot
What
of
did she
times
say?
I don't be knowing certain
She
things.
don't.
I don't be knowing
She
the
don't know the
lingo.
inside joke.
No,
So
no.
remember
What'd you
when
say?
Mimi was like, she went and bought some donuts,
Okay,
and the donuts was hard. And
Right.
like when you buy a glazed donut, you want your donuts to be nice and soft,
and
and
warm.
then if you
We're
put
still
them in,
talking
them,
about donuts, though, right?
At
right?
the-
She was talking about donuts.
Okay.
And then as you read the comments on her stat, everybody's like, "Oh damn, man! You know, I heard that place got really good donuts." And then you get to this one guy
random.
talk about let me glaze them buns.
Oh.
So we took what he said, and then everybody just started making jokes from it.
Okay.
So and he was like, "I want to lay you down and spray you down."
What?
Right, that's what he
Now,
said.
Okay,
So
let's
the reason
stay
why-
right there.
The reason why I asked though on his stat, like I just commented because I didn't want to shy away from it. You know, I really wanted to know what it meant.
What
so
did the comment say?
I just asked him, like, I just said I was confused.
No, she
about
said
it.
she was confused about what I
Because
was talking
I
about.
didn't know what he meant because when I was looking at Juan's posts, they have been like so like philosophical, and he was getting like really deep into like the meaning behind relationships
He's
and
in this
women
emotional
without
bag.
and he hasn't been bashing. So this I thought maybe
That's how he
had
bashes.
I thought maybe had some, you know.
Oh, no,
maybe it was
I can
something
get
else.
deep
I
and then
wasn't
we can-
sure
I
which
can
one
get
it
deep
was.
and then we can take a left
let's
turn.
stay
real quick.
here. Let's stay here.
I'm learning.
Let's stay here before we wrap this up. Let's stay
Yeah,
here.
no more holy cookies, Lord. Everybody got time. But I will say, if you're dating multiple people, you should not be intimate. Okay, if you're dating multiple people, again, you should not be intimate.
Why
with
not, though?
multiple
Or just be intimate with one.
people.
It's like
if
a-
you're in a relationship,
It's
that's
a
between you
it's
and
a
your boo.
buffet though.
Nah, bro.
I feel like I should be
It's
able to.
germs at the buffet.
It is.
No,
It's germs in life.
No, it's germs at the buffet.
You know, you can get germs from your
It's
significant
germs,
other.
It's COVID at that buffet.
You
Leave
can
that
get-
buffet
All
alone.
right, but what else you got
Cook
here?
at home.
Go-
We like a
Stop
home
letting
cooked
Juan
meal.
take you places.
We like a home cooked meal.
I'll take you there.
No. Oh, the main thing I don't know if we're close to wrapping it up.
No, good. Go. We got
Okay.
time.
No, yeah. The main thing is I know we're gonna get into the Is It Love tour, and of course, Juan was talking about the blind date. So the reason why I actually stopped doing the blind dates, anything that I feel like is not in alignment with my purpose or I'm not making God happy, I don't want to do. I don't care if it don't yawn at me on that, Wani.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't care if it'll make me a whole bunch of money. I've said no to things. I'm not gonna do it because I feel like it's not going to get me to where I want to be. And for me personally, I will never be satisfied or happy in life if I'm not getting the things that I know that God wants for me. So I have to position myself in order to do so. So the reason why I stopped doing the blind dates is because I did do like a speed dating event, which I love doing the speed dating events as well. And some people definitely did pair up.
Okay.
And
None of this sounds bad so
two
far.
adults. My people always enjoy themselves. I have a knack for pairing like personalities. I truly do. But this is what God told me. Okay, God said, "You are not God."
He said,
That's what he told
told
me.
you, mind your business.
He said, "That's my job. You are not God." And what happened at this event, and I felt God in my spirit telling me not to do it, and I did it. So I'm learning how to listen to that little voice. I'm learning. But a young lady did get hurt. She got into a relationship with a man. They had become intimate and stuff. And then his woman was knocking on her door days later, and
Oh,
it
she
was
got
a
like
whole-
beat up her?
no, not like that.
Oh.
Her feelings got hurt.
Basically,
that's
she-
not your fault.
And that's what I told her.
feel
It's not
like
your
if
fault.
I'm doing the parent, I understand that's what the majority will believe, but I feel some type of responsibility for that. So this is what I would like to do with the love tour, because I still feel a connection with doing that. Okay. What I would like to do is on the love tour, I would like to have one candidate, and talk back to me, guys. Let me know if this is a good idea, if you think it's a good idea or not. But I would like to have one candidate on every show that not auction off, but
Auctioning off one.
not auction off.
Sold.
I'm
But-
with it. Sell me, baby.
Listen, that I want people to message me privately or message Tone privately or Tommy. Hey, Tommy, love you. Or message Tommy as well. And let us know like who's interested in that particular candidate. Okay. And then I'm instead of doing a blind date and me pairing, I'm gonna let our candidate choose which date they want. That way I'm taken out of it. No responsibility here, but still giving that like fun experience to people who truly want to date like-minded people and have the same things in mind as far as like looking for that partnership. So what do y'all think of that? Instead of me doing the
That'll
pairing,
work.
yeah, I think that sits really good on my heart. And that's how I make my decisions when it feels good on my heart and in my spirit.
So instead of you picking the fucked up people, you'll let them fuck up each other. Got it. Makes sense.
No, I'm putting people in position.
So-
The
so
rest
in
is
a-
up to y'all.
In a way, you
The
still
rest
being
is up to y'all.
so
We're
in a
gonna
way-
use the platform for the
Yeah.
purpose now.
So in a way, you still being God.
I'm definitely not being
Yeah,
God.
you-
Lord, I know you heard
I mean,
that. Jesus, let's pray right now, God.
God gave us what?
Free will.
And you are doing what? Giving them free
No.
will.
Well,
Thank you. That is why I'm the pod guy. I know what you're
we
trying
were
to do.
made in his image, so I'll give you that. We were certainly made in his image. But no, I will allow the people to pick for themselves because, as you stated, they have free will. It's not me picking for them.
I'm gonna let you pick my girlfriend.
I would pick them well, and I have such a like desire to do that. But
I-
God had to
Go
sit
for
me down.
it. Like
No,
if you think
God had
you
to
can find
sit me
me something
down.
better than what I am picking,
He had to sit
I
me
am
down.
all for suggestions.
I don't need God to sit me down no more. I
Because
don't
at
need
this
him to tap me
point,
no
I'm
more.
doing it wrong.
At this point, I'm getting alignment, and what we're gonna do
Yeah.
is we're gonna let Wani pick based on his past experiences. He should have learned from. He
No-
should learn them lessons.
No
now.
light skinned girls with big hair.
You don't like light skin?
That seems to be my kryptonite at this point. That's why I keep
Oh.
going through these issues.
Well, I honestly love chocolate. And
Yeah,
they
bring me
all
a
look like-
chocolate baby.
They all look the same, so maybe I need to date somebody light skinned, Lord. I don't know. They don't all look the same, Jesus. That was wrong. They certainly don't. The last guy I dated was very, very, very handsome. Very handsome.
You be
indeed.
dating people taller than you?
He's 6 feet. I'm 4'11".
Yeah, maybe you should get somebody like 5'2".
I wouldn't mind dating somebody 5'2", 5'3". I
Yeah.
absolutely.
Do they make-
See, y'all really don't know who LaChelle is.
Do they make dudes in 5'2"?
My nephew's 5'3",
How old is he?
21.
Damn. Okay, so they still make dudes.
They have, yes,
Pint
big
size.
hearts and you know.
I
They have
just
Napoleon
stocky.
complexes. Let's keep it a buck.
Not all of them, but some of them probably do. But I've never dated someone.
You never dated
Usually
Napoleon
they're
Bonaparte.
5'11", 5'10". I think 5'10" was the shortest.
all right, because you legally almost a man.
One of my requirements is that you got to pick me up. You got to be able to pick me up. I'm 4'11", and you can't pick me up. I'm not gonna respect
Okay.
you as a woman should respect
So,
a man.
wait, first of all, pause.
Excuse me.
Wait a minute.
You want to
Right
pick you
What?
up like
First
a
of
baby?
all-
That's one of my surface level
no, wait a minute,
requirements.
wait a minute.
You gotta be a
For the
pick me up,
listeners
bud.
out there, see what you don't see in this pint size thing is she got a lot of wagon that she's dragging, and that alone itself.
Yeah,
is
you might
kinda
not be
heavy.
able to handle that.
That's heavy.
No, first of all,
That's a
most
heavy-
black women do.
That's a heavy Chevy.
Most
okay.
black women do.
The heavy Chevy
Yeah.
sitting on
Lord
phones.
Jesus.
Faux.
Jesus,
11s.
bring
I
them
got
back,
it.
bring them back, bring them back. But okay, so I will ask y'all this, okay, because this will kind of put things in perspective for you guys, okay. Now, like I said, I don't look at the outer shell. I truly don't when it comes to me
You should
picking my
a little
mate.
bit. You should, but don't make it the top priority.
Okay, so for you guys, well, I'm telling you, what attracts me is like
Because here's the reason why I say
deeper.
that. I have a major one I won't do that's surface level. I will not date a white woman.
Okay,
I'm not mad.
I'm not opposed, but I love my black kings, but I'm not opposed.
But that's a surface level thing. So
But
other
I'm
than
typically
that,
attracted to chocolate
other than that, everything else I'm cool with. But if you pure Aryan,
with a
can't
beard.
do it.
Was that finna be your question?
No,
From the
Oh,
mountain
okay.
of Caucasus, I can't do it.
I mean, not about white women, But was you gonna ask? Do we have like a surface level thing that we just won't do?
Yeah.
You cannot have booty fingers
What's booty fingers?
when you have no nail on your hand.
Oh, but they can grow. Why can't you? What if she's the most perfect woman ever and she has booty fingers and you just said no to her because of some booty fingers
Yeah.
instead of just buying her some nail growth stuff,
You gotta
telling her to drink her water and take her vitamins.
because
take your
now
vitamins,
at this
ladies.
point I'm controlling.
What?
Because I want you to grow
That's
nails.
not
I want you to
controlling.
have nails, and you might be comfortable with your butt fingers. So at that point, if I'm trying to get you to grow
adding
nails,
value to a woman's life,
I'm
is
controlling.
never
I
going
don't want to be controlling. So I might.
Making the decisions for her is absolutely controlling, but presenting her with things that will better her and make her better, it's not controlling.
Yeah,
That's
but
a part
see-
of being a man and
but
being a
see,
leader.
Now we gotta have this conversation about. Oh my God! So you don't like me the way I am? You trying to change?
You don't have to say that. Just
that's what they say. You're right. You don't
gotta
have to
that-
say it.
right. You got swagger about you, Juan. You know what to do. We getting off, y'all.
And you'll tell
Love.
them you don't need that, and they'll be like, "But I'm doing it for myself." So don't you argue with the wrong reasons.
Can we hear you on the mic? Why you all the way back there?
You always hear me on the mic.
I'm just saying, booty fingers. No,
I
no.
am me. They can always hear me.
These guys,
I-
shine your light, guys.
We just.
I think we got a deeper one today. I think we got more depth from
Because he
him.
was actually sober today.
See, I be telling folks, man, if this
Clear
bro come to work
mind.
not under the influence, you
No
can have a great show
fog.
out of him. But if
No
you
fog.
get high one, you might as well not record at all.
Yeah.
Just
It's-
leave
It
on.
could go. I think it's more unpredictable. I think that's what it is.
I just like deep down, bro. I really just want somebody to love me.
I
for
know.
Do you smoke
I
weed to
feel
hide
that.
the pain?
Yes,
Probably.
I know he does.
Stop smoking weed.
But like, what pain am I trying to hide?
That's why you need to stop being high. So you
Is
can
it
figure
pain
out.
or emptiness? Because you're in search for something.
Ooh.
And what you really should just do, Wani, is the same thing that I'm doing.
You want me to go to
Focus
church?
on self. Focus on
Go to
self.
church?
I was
The
like,
if
you want
that's
me to go
if
to
church is now church is a whole nother category for me.
Scam.
We talked about that. I'm not gonna call church a scam because
No, you don't have
the
to. I
church
did it for you.
introduced me to
Why?
God.
Don't knock her hustle. That's her. That's hers.
No, the
I told you
church
stop doing
introduced
that.
me to God. It truly did. But it was people in the church that drew me away.
Yeah, I don't
So
have
there's
problem
there's
with
a
people
lot of
going to
things in
church.
church that don't line up with God. But
Facts.
typically it's not.
'em.
Typically from the people that I've known, it wasn't the leaders. In all of my situations, it's never been the pastors. It's never been the leaders. It's always been the flock.
It's the congregation.
In my personal situations, which should not have been my focus. My focus should not be on how
Right,
on,
it should be
on
your-
other
it should
people.
be
It should only be.
your-
But
You with God.
and yeah,
But-
anytime I've gone to a church, it's been for healing.
Yeah, but
And
God
I've
is
always-
everywhere.
He absolutely is. I have church at home.
That's it.
Very
I'm with
often.
that. I don't have to
Yeah.
go to
You
a
don't-
building
You definitely
that
do not.
ain't got no
I'm not
heat.
a person that will tell you that you got to go to church. However, I definitely believe that the spirit is magnified
Right.
in certain institutions for sure.
I feel
For
like
sure.
God is the only person that's willing to meet people at their level. So wherever you
And
are,
that's why I love him
he
so
coming,
much.
he coming where you at.
That's why I love him so
So if
much.
you in
He'll
the
have you
slums, he
shining
gonna be in the
light.
slums to get you out the slums.
He
got
has
you.
shining lights in dark places. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. But also for me, I've been in very dark places. And it was God and pulled me out. I had to climb my way out. It was, but people definitely came in my life that shined a light and kind of showed me like what to do in order to get out of those spaces.
Showed you the way.
My sister, my beautiful sister who lives in Texas, who's a minister, she was definitely and always has been a light in my life. I'm not a minister. Okay. I'm not a pastor. I'm none of those things. I'm just a person who has had a whole bunch of really traumatic experiences and I've learned from them and I have a desire to teach people how to get out of them and also have a desire to teach people that wherever you at, you ain't got to stay there. But if you do stay there, that's your choice. Like you said, free will. At the end of the day, the choice is ours. And I have to make a sound decision every single day. So we're going to wrap it up here. We do got the love tour coming. Okay. I think we're going to have Wani Wan as one of the candidates on a love tour, guys. I know Juan is just... You are such a teddy bear, and you will be so good to the right woman.
I feel like
But you
that.
have to be, you gotta be with a woman that values that. And a lot of these women on certain levels don't value good men. They don't even
But
have
they all want one.
they don't, some of them don't even have the ability to receive it because they're so damaged and so hurt.
Everybody want a good person, but
And
don't know how
hurt
to
people
treat 'em.
hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. So we gotta heal.
And the next
We
time
gotta
I get
focus
hurt,
on
I'm a hurt
self-love.
person.
I'm gonna hurt you. You say that
I'm
again.
sorry.
We are not promoting violence on the Shine Your Light podcast.
Oh, I'm not promoting violence. Either.
I'm empty. That was a empty threat. If you ever hear me say I'm gonna hit somebody, Lord, that's an empty threat. I ain't gonna hit nobody. Okay, I'm gonna hit you with the spirit. All right. And in
Oh,
the
that's
spirit.
what they calling it.
Why? Why?
Hit me with the spirit.
Lord, actually, hey, between husband and wife, you know, man, I don't know, but
Oh my.
husband and wife, which
See,
I do
that-
not have a husband
That
at this
righteous
time.
cookie ain't so bland when it got a ring on it.
I am single and focusing
Ready to
on
mingle?
me. I am not ready to mingle at this time.
You're single and cutting off all tingles.
I am not. I'm just.
You single,
I'm
you
just
just
in
want somebody to
alignment
jingle.
with what God has for me. That is my focus. I
You're
have
single
been
and
very
you're not sharing your can
distracted
of
for the
Pringles?
last 6 months, and I have closed off all distractions. If that person truly wants to be with me, then he's gonna be in alignment with God in order to receive
Punch him.
me um, at the
Well,
at the level that I'm becoming in
I'm
Jesus'
out.
name. So
Too
So
much,
we
too
got
much of
the-
a heathen for.
who?
One.
You're
Wow.
not a heathen for nobody, Lord.
Would you date one?
Would I date one? Under different circumstances, I would.
Really?
Under different
Like
circumstances.
the
See,
wine
the
of
issue,
now.
the issue with me is that I can see the good in everybody. That's the issue with me. So when I see you, I see that good man. I see that
Yeah.
teddy bear.
I just got
What's-
bad habits.
But
What's the problem?
exactly.
I just got bad
But
habits.
But here's the thing: it's not that, with the exception of one. And you know, I'm not even
Awareness
gonna
is
say.
everything.
I'm not even saying that one, but
I've
a
had
person
many.
will give up their bad habits for the right person.
He
So
sounds like the guy I was just dating because now he's
Give-
trying to do everything right.
give up.
Lord.
But the thing about it is one would probably give it up in advance if you let him know it was.
And that
an issue.
sounds like the guy
Or
that
at
I was
least,
dating.
like,
But
let's take
here's
the
with
weed
me-
smoking for a
but
while. I
here's
know
with
that'd
me.
be a problem for you. He probably wouldn't be high around you.
Yeah,
From-
like give up. No, but I will respect you enough to know that I
Why
would
would
have
that
to
be a
cut back.
problem? I didn't say that would be a problem.
But I'm just saying in
I
But
didn't
we
say
general.
it
do
won't
that
be
in
a
general because
problem.
that's like one of the.
That's
biggest
what
things
most people
I
do.
feel
most
like
people
it creates a fog, and I will, if I'm gonna, when I pick my husband, or I choose that. I feel
It's
like
not always a fog though.
I need him to be.
I smoke for clarity.
I feel like
I
for
do.
me, like y'all have to understand. Like I give my all to my king.
So why?
And I'm not gonna pick somebody that I'm not gonna follow. And as soon as I see you in a position that I shouldn't be following you in, I'm going to get away from you.
But
which
here's-
is what I just did.
and I'm not.
No, don't follow me into the
So
bush.
I
That's
need
my
you
me
to be
time.
clear. No, I need you to be clear. And I'm not saying I think everything on this earth has purpose. Everything on this earth has purpose. Anything that you can't fast from, you're in bondage with. If you can't get away from it for 7 days straight, 5 days straight, that's not a habit. That's something that has a hold on you. So I don't think I'm not saying I'm not the don't drink, don't smoke police. Like that's never gonna be me. It's a whole bunch of church people, okay, and I've been surrounded around them that will tell you to love God and tell you to do this and this and that, but they go home and they pour a drink, but they don't tell you that you can do that. You know what I mean? And so I didn't want to get into all that, Lord, but I'm just saying.
That was a better answer than the last person I asked that question to.
I'm just saying that we are all humans, okay? We all deal with all type of stuff.
Oh,
And at the end of the day, my number one thing for me is putting my flesh into subjection, is feeling through certain pains that I experience, whether it's been from relationships or healing from past traumas, literally feeling through it and not running to a substance or running to a drink. I know, Wani. But I will say it's plenty people that didn't get killed because somebody
Wait,
went and
what?
smoked a blunt. Seriously.
That's a fucking fact.
It
No,
is a
I'm just
fact.
like, how did we get? I was listening, but I wasn't
It's
listening.
a fact. It's a fact. So that I'm just not gonna be
You
one.
know how many lives
I'm not
I've
gonna be
saved?
one of them, I'm not one of them like church
You know
folk,
how
Lord.
many
I'm
lives
a
You
believer.
know how many asses I've saved?
I don't even call myself a Christian. I call myself a believer.
I
I'm a
have saved
believer.
so many people's lives in life.
All right. With that being said, we come to the end of this video.
Yes, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. And there's reasons for that, y'all. But yes, I do believe Jesus died for our sins, but I don't think most people even understand where the term Christian even comes from. Y'all got to do y'all research.
Man, we got
But yeah.
gotta do a lot of
So
homework.
the love tour, let's get into that. God is love. God has requirements. We're going to be speaking about the requirements. Hey, Ashley, girl, Ashley S. Stokes. Ooh, I didn't hear. That's why I wanted to. I wanted people to like interact and I wanted to respond to them, but I didn't see it. Love is fun. Love is fruitful. Love is free. Love is understanding. Okay, Ashley S. Love is so many different things.
She ain't like you. Hey.
I wanted to tell him that, Ashley, but
At 30 and 34, finding out people don't like you is so heartbreaking.
And then she put it in all capital letters. She did not like you, and but she should have been just real about it at the end of the day. But I really feel like, Wani, you had some type of like there was a little voice talking to you that you ain't listened to, a little feeling that you were having about her that you didn't listen to.
All right, but with that,
Or maybe the fog was
the red flag should have been like,
clear.
I'm not fucking. That should have been the red flag.
No, that shouldn't have been a red flag.
With that being said, we've come to the end of this episode.
Yes, so we have the love tour coming up, guys. Once again, I definitely want y'all to be engaged. I want y'all to be a part of the love tour. Again, we're going to have one candidate per episode, guys. And if you are interested in dating that particular candidate, I want you to contact myself or the producer, Tone in this case, and let us know the candidate that you're interested in, and we will have them choose if they want, which person they want to date. So we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of things when it comes to love. And I would like y'all to also give us different topics that y'all want to discuss. Okay. Even if it's about family and friends, I want y'all to be more engaged. So I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation. I certainly did with two of my brothers. Got the pod guy Wani Wan in the building. And of course, we got the King Tone, favorite producer.
I'm just a black man who's trying to survive.
Ain't nobody got time. Next thing he gonna say, black men don't cheat. That's gonna be the next one, Lord. We're gonna talk about that on the tour. I love y'all so much. I will see y'all soon. Thanks for joining us today. Shine your light, y'all.